Sui has come out with a new killer feature. It now allows to transfer stablecoins without any fees, completely gasless. You can now transfer US dollars on the Sui blockchain. You don't have to pay anything. Yet the price of the Sui token is doing nothing. It's just developing like the rest of the altcoin market. It tends to go down. Here is the announcement. In May of this year, the launch happened on the 27th of July. Maybe the reason why people are skeptical is the tokenomics. There are still unlocks of Sui. When the supply grows faster than the demand, then the price has to go down. Now, will it go down though? This is Sui's long-term US dollar chart. It appears to be hovering around an equilibrium. The average price, that's the dotted line. If we were to go back to that dotted line, Sui would outperform by more than 150%. Now, the problem with charts like this is that they're heavily influenced by the general crypto ups and downs, right? When Bitcoin goes up, then many altcoins go up. When Bitcoin goes down, many altcoins go down. So really, we don't just see what Sui is doing on this chart. We also see what crypto in general is doing. If we want to distill what Sui is doing, we have to divide its price by the altcoin market cap. And that's this chart. Now this looks quite interesting. We've got higher highs, we've got higher lows, and we are at the lower end of the trading range. The potential risk versus reward looks very interesting. So again, do we potentially have an opportunity here? My name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and I did this mainly through active trading of altcoins. My track record is on the website down below. In the last 2 years, I started to publish my trades in real time. We made 47% annualized. We're currently at an all-time high. All the closed positions, they are directly on this public website listed. So 100% transparency. You can see exactly when I entered, when I exited, what were the winners, what were the losers. The current open trades, they are available to the premium members. On average, I made 5% per trade over a sample size of 187 trades. And I hold each position on average 26 days. So this is not arbitrage trading in the seconds, and it's also not just buying and holding. It's a semi-active approach. Now the problem with Sui is that its narrative is not really clear. Apparently, it's an institutional blockchain, but it's also for decentralized finance, and it serves artificial intelligence infrastructure. At the same time, it's used for gaming and now for stablecoin payments that don't cost any gas fee. But really, what's the market segment that Sui is focusing on? There's even a dedicated website on privacy. On X, Sui is even advertising its tokenomics, its buyback program. But some people are very skeptical. For example, the founder of Sui sold some tokens to buy a mansion. And he's comparing this ironically with CZ that sold his apartment in Shanghai to buy Bitcoin. So the exact opposite direction in terms of capital flows. If you are using X and you want to follow the account of this channel over here, then feel free to check it out. I publish data regularly over here. Make sure though that you follow the right account, so that's at Bitcoin Strat. Make sure that you don't follow a fake account. Now, the Sui tokenomics used to be very, very bad, as in the relative growth of the supply was massive. And that's probably one of the reasons why Sui underperformed the rest of the altcoin market by 67% since launch. Going forward though, at least up until 2030, the token dilution is not too bad. 12 months from now, we will have 6% more supply. In another 12 months, there will be an additional 4.6%. So the inflation rate goes down up until 2030. And that's a potential opportunity. If the reason why Sui underperformed was just tokenomics, and that reason fades away, at least for the near future, maybe there is a case to be made for the bullish scenario. Sui has some demand by Wall Street as well. There are ETFs. And apparently it's used quite actively for stablecoin transactions as well. Let's have a look at this. This here is the total value locked in decentralized finance on the Sui chain. Unfortunately, this is not the prettiest of charts. We peaked at above $2.5 billion in October of last year. Since then, Sui sees outflows from decentralized finance. Now, the majority of that decline is simply the assets on the Sui chain going down in price. And again, that decline was due to tokenomics. If we measure the total value locked in Sui tokens, the chart doesn't look as bad, but also we don't see any growth either. Here's the amount of stablecoins on Sui. So while there might be a lot of transactions, those could be bot transactions. In terms of capital on the Sui chain, that's just stablecoins, that's not growing. It was above $1.2 billion. Now it's around $500 million. This cannot be explained by price fluctuations. Stablecoins are stable. Here's the number of transactions over time on Sui, and here's the number of newly created accounts over time on Sui. So the tokenomics have improved. The supply will not grow as much. Unfortunately, the usage of the chain is also not growing. If we now speculate on Sui, we are speculating on future adoption. And that's pretty much what's happening now on chain as well. We see much more short-term speculation on the perpetual futures on Sui than we see spot trading volume. When we compare market caps, Sui is at place number 28. When we look at open interest, so how many bets are made on Sui, then Sui is at place 17. So Sui has above average speculation. And in this overview, we even have tokenized stocks like SK Hynix or SpaceX. So Sui should actually be even at a higher rank in terms of crypto related speculation. Most people that bet on Sui don't do so because they think the price will go down, rather the opposite, right? There's a positive funding rate. There are more longs than shorts. Most people think that Sui will appreciate from here. But again, the purchases are not from the spot market. They are from the perpetual futures market via leverage. And that's why the price of Sui is that much correlated with the open interest. It's simply people speculating on positive news coming out for Sui. If the open interest goes higher again, so it moves from 500 million up to 2.5 billion, as it did in the past, then this will definitely help the price as well. Right now, there's not a lot of leverage, historically speaking, in Sui. There used to be much more, but the main driver is not the news. The main driver is just short-term excitement. Any price appreciation that we see with Sui has the inherent danger that it's probably not built through people that just want to hold the asset long-term. It's rather built through leverage, through open interest. But now the Sui price is low. Now the trading volume on the perpetual futures is low, and that might be a potential opportunity. Now, as usual, I like to run backtests. I like to figure out what are best trading rules. This time we trade Sui relative to Bitcoin. We try to figure out what are the best moving average combinations for golden and dev crosses. And historically, the best combination was the 4-day plus 42-day simple moving average. That would have doubled the capital every year versus losing 36% per annum just buying and holding Sui over Bitcoin. So how this looks like in practice is the following. Here is the live chart. Whenever the 4-day simple moving average is above the 42-day, we might want to bet on a rising price. Whenever it's below, we are rather cautious. Currently, unfortunately, the momentum has not yet turned around. And I think it makes sense to wait for that golden cross, to wait for the 4-day SMA to go above the 42-day SMA for two reasons. First of all, we can afford to wait a bit longer. There's still some downside. And if we do turn bullish, the potential upside is massive. So we don't have to buy right now. We can wait until things have stabilized. That's reason number one. But reason number two is that this trading strategy tended to work extremely well over time as well. Just have a look at this. So we've got the Sui price in gray, and we've got the trading strategy performance measured in US dollars in blue. It's a constant moneymaker. At the bottom, we've got the portfolio value measured in Sui tokens. So I do think it's important to at least consider the indicator. We don't necessarily have to follow it to the T, but as long as the 4-day simple moving average is still below the 42-day moving average, the negative momentum is definitely still intact, and it's better to be rather too cautious than too much risk on, especially in a market like this, right, where most altcoins tend to go down over time, and where even positive news like the gas-free stablecoin transactions don't really have that much of an impact on the price yet. So this is in general how I set up my trades. I look at the data, I look at the statistics, and then I buy and sell the altcoins based on those numbers. And again, all of those trades can be seen on the public website as well. The current Open trades are of course for the people that pay for premium. However, there is this website pinned down below. So one of the positions that I currently hold, that many premium members hold as well, you can get that over here on this page completely for free. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to plug in a credit card. You can get it either via Telegram by scanning this QR or by clicking this button, or you can enter your email address and then click over here. You will get the position that you can simply copy trade. You will also get a tutorial video that explains everything, how to set up that trade. The idea is that you make your first money with that trade, that you understand the trading strategy, and then afterwards you can decide whether or not you want to reinvest that money in premium directly. There's also a yearly membership with quite a bit of a discount, also including automated copy trading. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. Helps the channel grow. See you next time. Cheers.